Our second base is under attack by a cutter that has one goal in mind, which is to take me out. To my main base being attacked by a Johnson, and I end up losing that base to then scrapping for my extra base that I have just to try and survive, to finally trying to get some sort of momentum to try and finish the game to the best of our ability. Let's continue right where we left off, which is right where our main base was being attacked, getting hit by siege, coming in with cutter, and a condor is out and attacking our base. And we're trying to handle a three-prong attack, if not a two-prong attack that's going on right now. Vulture Y move is being put down. We're trying to clear out the Kodiaks, we're trying to clear out enemies, and that condor is just doing a lot of work, but it's about to go down. A vortex lightning goes down, my drop goes down, and we are able to go ahead and focus down on that condor and take that condor out. Now we just have to go ahead and clear out the infantry that's in front of our base, and we're gonna be looking okay on this recovery. So we're working on that process, dropping in some mines to make sure that they won't be able to retreat to the best of their ability, and we're gonna clear out the remainder of those infantry that are just chilling right in front of our base, since they don't have any more. But we did take a lot of damage in our main base, and there goes Red with their vultures and Wolverines. So now we're trying to get into a weird vulture war that's going on over here, trying to rebuild my base with supply pads to get those supply rolling economy all over again. Spartan is falling out of the vulture, I believe it was in. ODST drop is going down on the hero to go ahead and stun that. Y move is going down as well for the Spartan slam, and now we're going to drop in the charges from the ODST. Reavers are in as well to go ahead and deal with Nightingales, and an unfortunate pull by a Decimus. Didn't really time that really well, but it does look like we are going to be able to recover just a bit. We're going to rebuild our air pads, even though the enemy is going Wolverines. And Vulture Y moves are still going down like crazy. And our teammate's second base is in trouble, as well as his vet 1 Scarab. Hopefully he does not end up losing that. And I'm still just trying to go ahead and recover from our situation, start making vultures myself, because the enemy is also making vultures, hence the vulture war. And now I'm also making turrets and base defense and whatnot, and going to try and capture what I can in regards to the power nodes, because any additional power is good power. But unfortunately, looking at the mini-map, yellow is really doing a great job applying a lot of pressure on that base over there. My Spartan is here to try and deal with this good hijack that's going to happen on the vulture. I have to retreat with my units because I don't really have much anti-air as a whole, but it does look like we will be able to take that vulture, which is going to be very nice. Y move will go down with the vulture to take out at least one of the hornets. Hopefully this collateral will be able to take out the second one. Nope, it does not, but we are still doing some pretty good damage as a whole. We're going to get ready to do a drop. There's our Cyclop. We're dropping in a heal as well to try and heal our army while we continue to put on some sort of pressure as a whole. But they're double producing hornets, and look at that, our Scarab ends up getting lost by the enemy taking it out. It was a vet 1 Scarab, and unfortunately that is now gone, so rest in peace. Nightingale is still going to do the best of their ability to try and heal up my base, and looking back at this, definitely needed to send another Nightingale to heal up my main base as well, given the fact that it's kind of in shambles. But light blue is now going to go ahead and try and deal with yellow pushing down right through the middle. I'm still going back and forth trying to deal with light blue, and now we have a cryo that's going down that's going to freeze stuff. I'm going to go ahead and try and retreat. Want to use a Y move with my vulture, and I do get one off, but unfortunately there's still a lot of air units and Wolverines as well, and I don't really have the counter that I would like for it. We do have Cyclops, which is pretty nice, but we don't have that necessary range that we're looking for. But a great Y move by a vulture, and we're going to go ahead and try and steal the Wolverine to get that anti-air that I am looking for. Turret drop will start going down as well to stun their hero. And now we're going to go ahead and focus it down. A Y move is going to go down by our vulture as well. So we're starting to get a good amount of vultures. Still, our main base has not been healed to the way that we want it to, and it does look like the hero is just going to get away with practically no HP left. Cleansing's going down on orange, but unfortunately it's still looking a little bit tight in that area. So light blue is over there to try and assist. And I am back on trying to recover my base to the best of my ability now that I'm able to hold off red a little bit. I do want to try and capture that node, but they're just dropping later abilities to make sure that I do not, which is quite the shame, honestly. And so, Nightingales and Vultures are the name of the game. We're going to get a garage so that way we can start getting vehicle upgrades. Just because we have the ability to do that drop. So I want to be able to do something about that. And Y move is going to come down with the Vulture once again. The great Y move is going to come in and clear out at least a Nightingale, 2 Nightingales, and a couple of Hornets as well, which that's always a pretty good sign. We dropped in another Cyclop, which that is pretty good. And so things aren't looking incredibly bad, but definitely things could be better. Definitely struggling in that power department. So now we're gonna have to try and hold off this push that Y is coming. Y that I'm thinking about Y move for the Vulture, but you got yourself a big drop that's happening with Cutter, killing my Vultures that are coming out of the base because there's just so much infantry. And so we're trying to clear that out, but there's just so much infantry here, and we don't really have the comp that can fight this pretty well. And now red is starting to hit my main base as well, so I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place over here. They're trying to double down. Heal does go down on my base, but we don't even have the power in order to go ahead and help replenish what we need for our other leader abilities if we want to go ahead and use it and upgrade the turrets. But Y move is going down with our Vultures to try and get rid of some of the stuff that is here. We will kill some units, but we are not going to kill all the units. This is our time to go in and try and come in with the push. ODST drop comes in with the Great Vortex, but a cryo does come down by the enemy as well. But we are going to be able to deflect red just a little bit, but at the cost of our second base. Our second base is now gone. It's not looking good in that regards. We don't have enough money for an ODST drop, ODST group squad coming off. We're just going to try and focus down on their leader and still try to kill as much units as we can. Hopefully I'm able to micro that Vulture out. There we go. We are microing the Vulture out to try and get rid of that while we clear out the remainder of the Hornets. But our base is practically in shambles and our second base is gone. So we are upgrading supply pads in order to go ahead and try and deal with that. And there you have it. Yellow has another Condor out. And this is going to be a problem. We don't really have a good solution to that. We only have 3 Vultures in our team now. And we're going to try and heal up our units before we go ahead and send it right back. We don't have the power yet that we need, but we're going to keep our Vulture production because that is one of the ways you can try and come back in this game. Not a big fan of mass Vultures, but you know what? You have to do what you have to do when you get desperate. And that Condor over there is doing some great pressure on that other side of the lane, which is going to cause light blue to shift over to try and deal with yellow and the Condor that's associated with over there. And so now I'm running out of points, so I'm going to go ahead and get a second point in Battle Harden, so then that way I can go ahead and get that veterancy, because keeping my army alive is what's important. Red is already coming in to make sure that I do not get that second base. And just what you see there, a drop happened at the corner side of the map. I was able to see that. We're going to start putting in some Y moves with the Vulture. Cleansing beam is going down. We're going to do a turret drop as well. So we are going to clear at least the first half of the units that are associated with us right here. And the second half is going to come in as well. But we are going to lose a Vulture, unfortunately. And any Vulture we have is a Vulture that we want to keep. But unfortunately, they're doing very good pressure. But we are able to clear out everything that orange has, which is good. We did end up losing both our gens though, which that is a huge downside. I'm not producing any more power anymore because they have all the nodes associated with us. So things are looking pretty dire for us right now. And now a close air support with Condors is coming down on the main base. Fortunately, the cloaking gen is helping a little bit, but now the Nightingale has come down. Cleansing beam is going down as well, which that's always going to be helpful. But things are still kind of in a rough spot for our teammate over here, and he may end up losing the base. The Banshees are coming in. In fact, Yellow has 2 Condors, didn't even know that. And his second base ends up getting destroyed, which is quite unfortunate. So now all of us are down to 1 base. We were able to take out a Condor, but at what cost? Their economy is doing great. And we're in shambles in practically every ounce of the way. So Decimus is able to clear that stuff out. Clear out those Condors, and I am trying to clear out the backhand side. And then all of a sudden I kill one of these ice things and everything gets frozen. I totally forgot that killing an ice barrier and you're near it, all of a sudden your troops can get incredibly frozen. So I wasn't able to defend my second base when I started building that, which is quite unfortunate. So I'm going to go ahead and keep trying to clear out the rest of these ice barriers, and then red comes in. Red's coming in with their air. All I have is anti-vehicle turrets. It really isn't much. So I'm trying to send my army over and get some Y moves in on these hornets in order to go ahead and deal with them. One of them comes down. The other ones are getting ready to lock on, but a great Y move gets rid of at least 2 hornets, or at least damages one of them. And there's still more coming out. More Y moves are going in to clear that stuff out. Siphon has gone down with our army. Mac does go down by the enemy as well. But we're going to go ahead and steal that Wolverine. And we're going to be able to hold off red once again. So we're starting to get a larger army. We're at 87 pop. Things are looking pretty darn decent for us in regards to the army that we have. But then all of a sudden orange comes in with the transport right on our base over here. And there's really not much I want to do. What I can do, mechanical overcharge gets called, so now we're starting to lose our army ourselves over here. And then a big cryo is being called in, and so we're gonna have to try and retreat and fall back and have our base take a little bit of this damage for us, because we went from a good, like, healthy 81 pop, and now we're just dropping, and we're dropping really fast. So now I got a little bit desperate, and I called in a close air support to go ahead and deal with this, but a restoration drone is coming down on their army as well. Going to try and go ahead and use some Y moves as well to try and take out as many mantises as possible, but my base is getting focused down now. It's not looking too hot. We get rid of 2 mantises, which is pretty nice, but unfortunately we are in the struggle bus in regards to just trying to take out these units, and then we end up losing our main base. At least not yet. We're about to lose it. Trust me, this is a moment that I remember. We do have a level 1 vulture, which is actually pretty nice, but just when we were about to clear out everything orange has, we end up losing our main base. And so I now have no base whatsoever, and now I have less than 1 minute to try and grab a second base. So what's the first thing I do? I go ahead and try and grab a mini base, and then I go ahead and try and get an expansion of my own and try to hold out. At this point, all I can do is to go ahead and just try and just get a second base and keep my army alive and do as much pressure as possible. But they are streamlining reinforcements to make sure that I don't get this expansion base, and I'm aware of that, so I'm just going to have to try and hold out to the best of my ability. Decimus has a great Y move on that bunker, and we're going to be able to clear that out, which is always going to be pretty nice. And we're going to go ahead and get some more Y moves with the vultures to take out the hero. But then red has shown up, and red's showing up with the perfect army comp, hornets and wolverines, and I can't deal with that. I have to go ahead and fall back, but I don't really have a place to fall back to. So lost our vet 1 vulture, which is quite unfortunate. A cleansing beam is going down as well, which is going to be helpful, but at this point I'm at 32 pop and I don't really have much anymore. And our teammate is losing another scarab, and now this base is not going to make it, unfortunately. I am going to start making supply pads for this other, well, what I'm now going to call my main base. Well, unfortunately I never self-destructed that base at the top when I should have, and because of that I could have actually got 500 power into 500 supply and 200 power, but unfortunately that's not really the case, or whatever the upgrade was at the time for it, because I have fortify reduces the cost for those buildings. And so we were then given an incredibly good blessing. There's an unfortunate feature in Halo Wars called getting Halo Wars, in which you will get DC'd, or the game will crash, or something will happen in a hole, and sometimes it works in your favor or sometimes it works against you. And unfortunately it worked in our favor, and the reason why I said unfortunately is because we absolutely would have lost this game and possibly still will lose this game, but because it's now a 2v3, and actually I should say a 2.1 versus 2, maybe there's still a chance to come back from this. And so our teammate is giving us supply, or giving me supply, to make sure I can try and get a second base and try and get myself on a good footing. We have another scarab being made and out and released by our teammate. And so now at this point it's a 2v2, orange is gone, and it's just yellow and red versus us 3. And speaking of which, red is going to be doing a very good job just to make sure I don't get that mini base or get anything from the expansion on that side. So I decided to send a vulture, go ahead and get a Y move in, take out a watchtower, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and retreat and heal. And the plan is to do that over and over again, and still try and do anything I can to just try and get resources, because I have drops that I can do, but I just need to be careful about not spending all my money. And so there's two fronts that need to be taken into account. You got light blue's main base. That front needs to be protected at all costs, and then you're going to have this front, what is now my new main base. And my thought process was, let's go ahead and keep making some infantry. Let's go ahead and get some nightingales out and just produce any units that we can. And unfortunately, I didn't really have the power that I'm looking for, but I stopped an expansion. Ooh, there's a big engagement that's happening over here with Decimus, and a big Y move got popped by his other helper hero. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but my ODST drops end up coming down because I wanted to go ahead and drop in Sentinel charges on that, but turns out everything is getting frozen at that bottom hand side, which, you know, that's really unfortunate. And so I just blew all my money on something that just wasn't going to work out, and it didn't really work out as well. Red has that air dominance over there. Scarab is actually going down as well by our teammate, and so now I'm stuck in another situation where I have no units. Not units, but I don't really, I'm gonna lose this base over here. I won't be able to hold it even with the Decimus that's over here. And so I'm just here to try and do as much damage as I can to just take out as many units as I can. But a good Spartan Slam comes in to take out all my units. I'm on such a huge struggle bus. My Vulture's coming in to try and deal with that expansion base over there. I'm still trying to make any type of economy whatsoever. It just looks like I'm not able to. And another Scarab is out by blue. You know, the 7th time is the charm. I love the commitment. I love the passion. I am going to be able to take out that base by red. Hopefully, we're going to find out if we can. But at this point, I'm dirt poor. I'm broke. And my Vulture finally got caught by the Hornet. And I didn't even take out that main base, unfortunately. So now I'm stuck in an even harder spot than before, which is really unfortunate. But blue is here. I'm gonna go ahead and try and grab a second base. My teammates are still giving me supplies. At this point, I'm just holding the team back, but I did the best I can to put them in the position that they were before this. So this is why I love Halo Wars. It's a great give and take, try to support one another. And I lost my base once again, but it does look like we're going to at least exchange 2 vultures and some infantry associated with it, which is always pretty nice. And I am back at square one, which is just trying to get a second base. More vultures are showing up with the Y move, but I do have some infantry here. But then close air support gets called, and that's my cue to get out of here. And a big drop, the ODST assault is being plopped in, and that Scarab does not look like it's going to be in the best of health when dealing with this, but a great Y move by the Forge by Decimus in order to help stun that stuff. So that's pretty nice. And red is doing a great job. I mean, light blues are doing a great job just trying to stop any sort of reinforcements that can come in by red to try and take out this base. And so my main base times 500 is in attack once again. Hopefully we'll be able to hold this or not. I do have a heal, but I don't have the supply for it. So light blue did an excellent job pushing off the air with his reavers and with his air units that he has as well. He's microing very well, and we're going to be able to clear out all of those units as a whole, which is looking pretty nice in that regards. And so the goal is, I just need to try and find a way to stabilize. Like that's the position I'm in, and that's what I need to try and figure out how to do in order to help get that final push that we need. Because blue's still on 1 base, mind you. Yellow's been on at least 2 bases, now working on a 3rd base because took one of Orange's expansions after they got disconnected. And red's on 2 bases too, so light blue's the only one that's on 2 bases. And we're still down in regards to the economy. And so we're going to just keep trying to do the best we can. But I have a base that's once again in a very tough spot. And now Serena has her drop that's coming in as well. And I'm not going to be able to hold this off well, but we're going to try. We're going to bring our Spartan in, and we're going to try and hijack a tank. We stun the other tank, and the rest of our infantry units are coming in. And in fact, Decimus is going to be pulling in the enemy as well. So we were able to steal tank, which is pretty nice. A great Y move is being called by the Decimus drop. I have no idea why I forgot his name, but we're still trying to hold off in two fronts. So my main base, my new main base, is still being protected to the best of their ability by a Scarab and some of Light Blue's units. And I'm here trying to fight a little bit of a fight on this right hand side with just the Decimus drop and my infantry. But seeing what they have, I don't think I'll be able to save the units that they have because I don't really have much anti-air, unfortunately. So I too decided to just fall back because I want to salvage any type of army that I possibly can. But a second base is being made. Not a second base, but another base is being made by red. But we're going to try and target that down and then fall back entirely. And now all of a sudden, my new main base is under attack once again. It's not looking too hot, and so we're going to have to try and retreat off this side to go back to the main base by light blue. But a great Y move by Decimus stuns all the infantry at the top, and so my base is still alive just barely. I decided to pop a heal mainly because it's like it's still alive, might as well just see if we can get something out of this. We do have fortify level 2, and now we're also trying to just hold off on this side of the field with the Scarab and my hero, but I still don't have much I can do. I want to make drops, but I can't even make drops. But we're going to try and steal Wolverine. And speaking of which, my main base is so close to dying, and then they end up dropping a Y move by a Nightingale to protect my base when they were meant to kill it. Cleansing beam is going down on the hero, but a heal is going in as well. And at this point, I think my hero has died. I want to drop in mines. I end up dropping some mines. But now I don't have anything, and this base is about to go down, and it does go down. So now I'm back with no base, no money, and practically no units. Actually, the Spartan is still alive. It's inside the Wolverine, which is actually pretty nice. So that Scarab is falling back, and Light Blue has about his 10th Scarab that he's sending over. A great cleansing is going to go down to clear out a lot of Red's units, which is pretty nice. And my Spartan's going to just try and get out of here if possible. We're going to do a Y move to get out of that ice, and then we're going to try and grab our new main base while we retreat our Spartan back to the shield over here. But Dark Blue is going to take a different approach now, which is to stay right by the main base of Light Blue. And by doing so, he's going to play more of a defensive posture while we try to focus on sending the units that we need to hold the main base. And so Light Blue has a very interesting couple of air with heals with engineers, as well as just being able to get some wraiths as well on the ground. But here comes already the ODST's drop, and a Spartan comes down but misses the actual steal. And so now he's starting to fall back. Vortex is going to go down. It's going to be a great Vortex, and we have a stun with the turret drop as well. So things are looking good for a little bit, but it does look like the Cyclops are going to clear everything on the ground, but the Decimus drop comes in as well. So Decimus did lose everything on the ground, but still won the air superiority with his Banshees and Engineers that he has going on over here. And they did see my base, but it does look like there's nothing that they can really do about it at this moment. So Blisterbacks were able to clear out that remainder Cyclops, and now we're back to rebuilding our base once again. Can we get the edge that we need to finish this off? So we're finally, with what we have, we're going to finally try and be on the offensive and take out what we can with Yellow. Yellow's mass producing units, bunch of Cyclops, bunch of Hornets, bunch of infantry that just keeps popping up. Siphon gets popped on Decimus units, and the Deci drop and Decimus is over there as well. Close air support is being called, and so that's our cue to go ahead and fall back a bit, see if we can go ahead and focus down on these close air support units in order to go ahead and take that out. Our Spartan was able to steal a Hornet as well. That's one less unit for them, and that's one additional unit for me, even though the Spartan is not there fighting anymore. Still making the supplies when we can. Continuous reinforcements is coming in by Light Blue, and Dark Blue is just doing a great job of just containing that right side to the best of their ability. And so it does look like we're finally getting some sort of momentum. We're starting to focus down on the base, which is pretty nice. I can't do ODST drop because I don't have enough supply yet, but we are working towards that. We're at 600 supply, but we're still doing a lot of damage and we're taking out units. At this point, it does look like yellow is starting to run out because they're trying to make units to the best of their ability, but it's just not working out at this moment. We're now focusing down on the base, but that restoration drone was able to stall just a little bit. And there you go, you got more ODSTs coming in. But at this point, the base isn't really doing too hot. Decimus Y move gets called in. And now I'm just going to try and fall back to my base. There's a couple of Hornets there. There is a second base associated with it. And so we're going to see what we can do left with what we got. And then all of a sudden, huge ODST drop. Assault group gets called. Red is coming in to reinforce as well. But because they have done this, if you look at the mini map, red is light blue, dark blue is trying to make the push at the bottom right hand side. Restoration drones barely keeping my base alive. Y move being used by the engineers as well to do that damage reduction, and the base is still standing, just barely. So we're able to finally get a little bit of momentum at the bottom side because red has left his position. Huge cleansing beam is coming down as well, which that's pretty nice. But now there's a Spartan attacking my base and I have to deal with that while light blue is doing the majority of the heavy lifting, trying to get rid of red that's over there. A turret drop is coming in as well. My Spartan is trying to do the best they can. More drops are coming in by Serena, and we're going to have another cleansing beam coming down, but great splits by red. My base is practically at 1 HP, but it's being healed by the engineer. Focused healed down, and it does look like we're starting to clear out the remainder of the units that are happening here by red. And it does look like yellow doesn't have any more abilities at the moment to try and stop this from happening. The base is still alive just barely. And now we have another Scarab, Scarab number 12, that has shown up to help assist this battle. So at this point we have light blue and a Scarab happening on this side. And dark blue cleared out 2 of red's bases at the bottom right hand side. My X bases, which were now given to red, was taken back by blue in regards to at least taking that out. So our base survives. We have a bunch of supply, and now we're going to go ahead and call in that close air support once we get over there. And no, it hasn't happened yet, but that's my gut instincts. That's what I want to do. And so we're going to get that push in, but it turns out I was wrong. I'm going to go ahead and call in a turret drop in this location, and then I was going to call in a close air support, but it turns out I did not need to because red self-destructed all their bases. So at this point, this long drawn out battle is finally coming to a close. We're going to be taking out yellow. Red has now surrendered with the white flag being waved, and yellow is then going to go ahead and follow suit. I just have to say I appreciate for blue standing in there after they lost practically everything in their main base. In the first half of this video, just showing off just how dire it was for that teammate, but chose to stay. And then secondly, second half, I fully collapsed, and I had just teammates that were able to pick me up and keep me going as well. I was stumbling on my words there, but that's what makes this game so awesome, the team aspect of it, being able to pick each other up when the other one's down. This was just a good, fun game all in all. These players played very good, our opponents. They kept making units all the time, kept the pressure going. We were just never on the offense until the very last moments of the game. And if it wasn't for that Halo Wars situation that happened, honestly, we would have lost. So, shout out to our team. I went 165 for 297. Our teammate Decimus, Mr. Scarab Dude, 81 for 164. Our other Decimus went 104 for 371. That was light blue coming in clutch at the end. And shout out to the other team, putting up an amazing fight, putting up an amazing game. Couldn't ask for anything more than what we had. Very fun game all around. And so with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. This was a nice 2-part series. This is something that I wanted to try out now that I've been doing different things with the channel and got rid of the no commentary as a whole. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this as a whole. Not sure if this will be a normal thing, but I really want to show off this game, and I want to put the time and effort into trying to put it into the best ability as possible to go ahead and showcase to you guys. So really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, that's awesome. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe if you feel like it. If not, it is all good. So with that being said, have yourself a good one. Have yourself a splendid one. Keep being awesome. Hope you enjoy life and everything that's coming towards you. Keep up the great work, whatever you're doing. And until next time, G out.